What is up, Bucs fans? We are back. This is Real Bucs Talk with you here. I'm your host, Michael Plus, and my co-host, Mark Ramirez. I don't know if he's going to be joining the stream or not. We'll see. But I just wanted to get on here, get on live, and talk with you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to bring them forward. But yeah, the Buccaneers win again in the preseason form. Again, these games don't really matter. It's more about, seeing their process, seeing certain individuals, and seeing who's going to make the team. I think that's the most important part of this. I think that's what we look for. But it's good to see everyone here in the chat. Steven, as he is a weekly participant, really appreciate all the support, Steven. Good to see Brutal as Bucs. Good to see you in here. Missing Mark. I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully he might be joining here in a little bit. I don't know if maybe his son is struggling to go to sleep, but Mecca Buka looked pretty good. Bucky Irving. We'll get into that as far as like the touchdowns and stuff from the offense, but Buccaneers won this game 17-14, kind of went all the way down to the wire, and they found a way to get, the field goal in there. So yeah, maybe his tech isn't working. Yeah, I don't know. Usually his tech is pretty good. So I don't know what's going on there, but don't blame him. He's been binge watching Stranger Things, so he's getting all cut up with that show. So I understand if he's not on with us tonight. But again, just excited to be back live with you all. If you haven't checked out our Substack, be sure to go check that out. Real Bucs Talk on Substack. It's really where we're going to put a lot of exclusive content up for you guys. Do a lot of different types of film studies, different things, whether it's looking at the Bucs, looking at the NFL. We're going to really try to amp up our film studies this season and try to, just dive into different aspects, whether it's scheme or personnel, and try to get, give something new for you guys as far as Buccaneers fans and NFL fans, because I know a lot of people, enjoy our film analysis, especially when it comes to draft season and draft breakdowns and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it should be pretty fun. So go check it out. Again, we have a free video up there right now with JJ Roberts versus the Titans, and that's a sad story there, as JJ Roberts is lost for the season, went out with a knee injury. So it's unfortunate, but be sure to check that out. We also have the recap of the game up here, 17-14, like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, it should be fun to talk about tonight. So just going to let people join us as we get going here. Seeing brutal as Bucs comment here, late to the Stranger Things party. Yeah, it's a pretty good show. It's not bad. Again, it's different if you're into like sci-fi and stuff like that. It's really taken a long time to get to season 5. They started in 2016, and they have the final season coming out later this year. So it should be interesting. Bucs are beasts. Yeah, Will Brooks, he signed today. He's taken the spot of JJ Roberts. But with that said, let's get into this game. Kind of want to just hear your thoughts. If you guys have any comments or anything of that nature on the game, let us know, and I'll try to get to them. But really, when you look at this game, again, it wasn't the best. It wasn't as well executed as they did against the Titans, 2 weeks ago, where they won 29-7. But I thought for the most part, a lot of things did look good. Some things didn't look great. You look at Teddy Bridgewater, he was 6 of 11, 2 touchdowns. So again, an efficient night for him. Kyle Trask, unfortunately, didn't have the same outcome as he did in week 1 of the preseason, just wasn't as sharp. Could be because of the players surrounding him, but still, you want to see more consistency for Kyle Trask, especially if he is going to be the number two quarterback, which by all accounts it seems like he still will be. But I just have a feeling, if Teddy Bridgewater goes to the practice squad, they're most likely going to call him up if something did happen to Baker Mayfield, and you could see Teddy Bridgewater getting the start instead of Kyle Trask. But remains to be seen. Running back wise, again, we didn't run the ball very well. I thought Josh Williams showed the most. He did some good things, especially when he got his carries. They tried to run it a lot with Bucky Irving, just couldn't really make much happen. When I watched the tape, it looked like there's a lot of confusion up front, from Graham Barton, Ben Bredesen, and Charlie Heck had some misses. So there's just a little out of sync there, and hopefully that can get corrected. Again, it's nothing that I don't think is worrisome, but I think it's something that they can, obviously pick up on and be better at. And then receiving wise, we had Tej Johnson in this game. He made some plays, also had some errors, really showed well in the kick return aspect. So I thought that was cool to see. I want to. So a lot of talk about Justin Simmons there, Steven. I don't think they're going to sign him. I think if they were worried about like Tyke Smith or Antoine Winfield, maybe we could see that, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, I am solo for the moment. I think Mark might have passed out on me. Maybe he was tired, and I told him 9:30, but it is what it is. All good. Should Baker be getting reps? Yeah, I mean, I don't look into that too much. I think Baker practiced with the joint practices, got a lot of good reps there against the opposing teams. They felt comfortable with it, and I'm okay with him sitting out preseason. I don't think preseason is vital for these veteran players. I think it's more so who is going to be that bottom half of the roster on the team. So I think that's what's important. Isaiah McCollum, I think definitely is in store for a big season. It's important for him, right? Because it's a contract year. I think that makes it, the motivation is definitely there. So I think he wants to break out, and had a really nice interception on Saturday. So that was cool to see. Graham, I wouldn't say it was a bad game. I think Graham Barton and the offensive line as a whole did really well in pass protection. I think there was, some things to work up on as far as running the football. There was some missed blocks. There was some, missteps and misassignments, but I wouldn't count that as like a complete disaster. Like the guy did, I thought, really good in pass protection, and there was good pass protection minus the one rep from Charlie Heck. I thought there was a lot of good things, especially in that second drive with Teddy Bridgewater. They did a good job there. I mean, as we continue looking on over this game, I'm just trying to go over what stood out. Sterling Shepard, again, he's another guy who I think could be on the practice squad, but they bring him up for those early weeks and eventually probably put him on the roster. But there's a lot of good things here from the offense. Obviously, Abuka, he only had one catch, but again, that was a nice touchdown that he did have. He just looks like a pro. He continues to get open, be a consistent target for the quarterback. So I think that's important. Defensively, the linebackers stood out. John Bullock, I thought, played well. Kendall Vildor, I think, is going to be on this team. I think he's earned a spot with his playmaking ability. So I think that is cool. And then you have Nick Jackson, again, made some good plays. Jacob Parrish was another one. So there's a lot of good things there as far as defensively. We didn't really see much from the first team, but it was for the overall, I thought it was again a decent game. They found a way to finish and they won. Again, it's not a huge factor from, you know, wins and losses. We're not really looking at the wins and losses. It's just more of the process and what they're trying to do. And I think Mark is ready. He's good to go. So we're going to bring him in here. Mark, it's good to see you. The goatee stands. It's still going strong. That is exciting news. Yeah, welcome to the stream. We got a good group in here already, and just kind of going over this game real quick and giving thoughts on it. I mentioned about the quarterback play, Teddy Bridgewater. I thought again minus the pass to Jalen McMillan, I thought he looked pretty good. Kyle Trask did not so much. And the running game wasn't as strong as it was against the Titans. But how are you doing? How are you feeling? How is the Stranger Things binge watch going? And how is everything with you and Buccaneers football?
Yeah, I had a vacation week with the fam, so that was fun. Binge watched Stranger Things obnoxiously. Uh, yeah, I'm almost finished with season 4, so I'm getting my binge in there. But yeah, overall, watching Buck football, that was fun. Like literally watching it live. I told you about this. Literally,
Mm,
I would turn on the TV and the Bucks would score. So it was like, oh, good, touchdown, touchdown, good.
yeah.
I turn it off for a little bit, come back. I'm like, what the hell? They didn't score at all. But no, overall, yeah, I went back and watched some of it. A lot of Teddy's reads were always correct. There's a lot
Mm,
of good reads, a lot of smart throwaways. The corner route to um, Abuka, I saw that. He was
mm,
saying that the timing on it was bad in his press conference. He's like, "Yeah, wasn't trusting when to throw it, kind of thing." Yeah, you can
yeah.
see that. So he kind of threw it to the sideline instead of throwing it to harm's way, right? So you
Mhm.
can just see his cerebral aspect of his game. Yeah, he doesn't have a cannon. We can say that. Difference between him and Baker. There you go. But Kyle Trask, he is what he is. That's why they kind of brought in Teddy, right? Just to have
Mhm.
someone with game experience, just more knowledge of being aware on the field, not just back up. What is he at? 2 snaps in a pro game,
Mm,
Kyle Trask. So I
yeah.
understand that. So it's glaring in that facet. But running game, I thought a lot of it. Graham Barton early on, I don't know what the hell's going on with him. I think he just had to wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
Early on, he did not look good. Um, I know a lot of people were mad about Heck. It was just that one third down. He kind of, other than that, he was kind of like what you needed. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't awful. So I don't know. I don't know how you felt about that, but
Mm.
overall, there were some good things. The Dean, I want to talk about that later if you want to talk about Jamal Dean, because I know there's been a lot of people crucifying this guy with one preseason game of like 3 snaps that were in a row kind of bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, what were your 2 cents on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you talked about it very well offensively. Yeah, the run game wasn't as strong, and I think to this point, this is what I talk about when we're looking at preseason. You have to remember it is preseason. Again, they are running very vanilla concepts. There's not going to be, we're not going to unleash the bag fully in preseason. They're not going to show everything. We're not going to show what we're going to run this season. So it's very, straightforward, straight, handoff, let the back make a play. Again, they're not scheming against this guy. These guys are not preparing, game plan. So I think you have to kind of just look at it from who is making plays out there in a very basic game plan and who is rising above those challenges and like being consistent, because that's what they're looking for. They're trying to find good special team players. They're trying to find guys that have potential at the bottom of the roster and can help this team and not make the same mistakes twice. So yeah, I don't think the running game is any concern as of right now. Again, if this happens in week 1 of the season, then okay, yeah, maybe we can talk about it then. But right now, I'm not too concerned.
What I did also like, because it was almost like every time there was motion, they almost
Yeah,
read run, and like the Pittsburgh just run blitzed, and it was okay. They were kind of catching on to that, but then all of a sudden, after it stopped working, they would spread it out nonstop, and they were like, "Fine, if we're not gonna add anything diverse. Let's just spread it out then, if that's what they're going to play it as." So it's cool that you can see it as, okay, if this team's really gunning to stop the run 100%, we can spread it out and still have Bucky in the outside be a one-on-one target you can immediately hit. You spread it out. Like I said, Teddy would read the field. He had 5 wide. He's like, okay, who the hell's open? Where's the safety leaning? If he's that far back, I'm going middle of the field. And he just took it apart when it was like that. So that's cool to see from that aspect. The offense can just immediately change from a run offense to a pass game.
yeah.
And then with Teddy behind the helm, you could tell he could read the field really easy. Again, vanilla defense, but still, like you could tell quick, easy read, boom, boom, boom. Like I knew where my mismatch was. I knew what side of the field would be open, kind of things like that.
Yeah, for sure. I thought again, just order of operation was in play, and it looked very crisp, especially after the first drive there that didn't go so well. But again, they picked up things. They scored 2 touchdowns, and then really after that, it was just a whole lot of nothing. It was unfortunate to see Kyle, struggle like he did, especially after the game he had in week 1. It just didn't. Nothing was working. But I think the big takeaway from this game is the continuation of turnovers from the defense. I think that is important to look at. And to talk about Jamel Dean, yeah, I mean, he had a bad series. It happens. I think on the deep ball, Tyke Smith didn't really help him on that one. It looks like Jamel Dean's eyes kind of went one direction and he was looking somewhere else. Didn't lost track of the receiver. He thought he was going to have help over the top with
Yeah.
Tyke, and just those are the things that they got to iron out, and that shouldn't be an issue. I don't think going forward. At least I hope. I think it's an easy fix. They were playing a very vanilla cover 3, defense, and again, just let the guy get behind you. And then on the touchdown, same thing. He was looking elsewhere instead of his guy.
Yeah.
Ends up, allowing the play. The pass interference, I don't know about that one. I thought it was kind of weak. But I think the main thing is like just seeing how this defense is getting turnovers. And I'll bring this up on the screen so you guys can see. But like even this first play here, this is a nice interception by McCollum, like stepping in front of that and making the play. That is really cool to see. And then the second interception here, again, aggressive coverage, tipping the ball to himself and Vildor, who easily made the roster because of this game. Like he is going to be on the team. He's going to be probably the 4th or 5th corner for this defensive backfield. And then Antonio Greer, again, the quarterback pretty much threw him the ball directly because he was, staring at it. But that is what I'm seeing. 6 interceptions in 2 games. That is something to hopefully becomes a trend, because last year they only had 7 interceptions as a team throughout the whole season. So they're on the right track so far.
I'll say this. So I don't know if it was Vildor that was a misassignment, but like the second biggest play of the game was a massive misassignment. 4 guys went after 1 deep man,
Yeah.
and the underneath guy was just wide the hell open. And you can see in the replay, like, who was it? One of the DB coaches was just screaming at him. Was it Rapone? What was the other guy's name?
Kevin Ross.
Kevin Ross, just screaming. I don't know if it was at Vildor, but he was walking towards him. So because why the hell's 4 guys on 1 deep man? So, and it wasn't on Parrish's side of the field, so it wasn't him. So Yes, but that in that respect, it's like Vildor had a lot more reps, a lot more snaps, so you have more opportunity. So you see Dean's limited snaps, you're like, oh, what a piece of trash. Get him out of here. And I'm like, yeah, of a preseason game body of work, I don't know if you're going to throw him away that fast.
Can't hear you now.
Oh, I can hear myself, so I'm hoping more people can hear. Can you hear me now? Are we there? Oh, plus is gone.
My audio went out. Hold on.
Whoops. Could be me. How is it in the chat? Do you guys hear me, or is it on Plus's end? Let's see, Plus.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, I was trying to check in the chat too if they could hear me. Haven't gotten a response yet. Or did it actually shut down? That could be another thing. Hold on, let me see. Oh, Steven hears me. So we're all right. Well, I'm all right. All right, so I'll keep talking since Plus is fixing his. But I mean, overall, can you hear me now? No. But like defensively, I can see the aggressiveness. I can see how even Tyke being too aggressive on that deep pass is trying to be making a play on the ball. Maybe they're thinking too much early on. Let's make sacrifices to try and get an interception. So maybe that
try to exit and come back.
I can't hear you at all now. Let's see if he's going to go away and come back. Hold on. Oh, it's me all day, guys. So I guess I'm talking defense. So other than the secondary, Chris Braswell having a big game. I don't know what everyone else thought about that, but I thought he was a lot more pushing the pocket. I think he's always been close. I think a lot of people just want to see second round pick, just like Corey Hall, second contract for a second round pick, backup quarterback. The stigma of a second round pick, you're expecting a lot more. I mean, that first game, it sounded like Todd Bowles wasn't that upset. He sounded like he was in the right mold of what he's trying to get overall as an outside linebacker and the pressure and stopping the run first. So I understand that part of it, but a lot of people think edge rusher, you got to get sacks. So, I mean, it's still early on. It was a first preseason game, second preseason game, he gets a sack. I know it was kind of a combined sack with Christian Izien, but either way, I thought he had a good game, good pressure, consistent pressure. I was more alarmed by that, again, one preseason game, but Reddick to seeing he was kind of getting blocked pretty well. I don't know if it was a consistent pressure from him at all, but I don't know. It's just one game. So, all right, how are you going to get mad at Reddick not getting that many damn pressures or get mad at Braswell? I know it's two different people. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know.
You sound very cloudy, though.
I do. All right.
But overall, I was kind of talking about Chris Braswell, but then comparing him to Reddick since it's the first time you kind of saw him in a Buccaneer uniform. Like, were you that let down of seeing Reddick's lack of pressure as opposed to seeing good pressure from Chris Braswell? Because, I mean, a lot of people jump on people because of one game. I don't necessarily see it as a knocking. I think it's more getting your feet wet kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I agree there. I think Reddick, I thought he did some good things. I mean, on that interception, they dropped him back and he was in position. Like he dropped back like a linebacker, got really good spacing. Was kind of, I think, it, affected the throw a little bit there, just being in the way and then Zion being able to cut in front and intercept that ball. But yeah, Reddick, I think, is going to be a huge factor for this team, and we'll see that in week 1. I'm still like Yaya and Braswell. I want them to continue to be like those denters, like condense the pocket, but contain the edge and continue to attack the outside, the outside shoulder of the offensive lineman, because you want to force that quarterback to stay inside that pocket because the defensive tackle pressure is going to be there. Vita Vea and Kalijah Cansey are going to create havoc where they can get into the backfield. And that's what Braswell did on his sack there. He attacked the outside shoulder and got right to the quarterback. You had interior pressure from the blitz. That was just really good execution there. So hopefully that is something that they harp on. And it's great when Logan Hall only plays 3 snaps like that. That's beautiful. Even though I was impressed that he did get off a block and he made a tackle. So that was nice. Hopefully we see more of that continue. But Logan Hall is probably going to be, a base down player this year for the majority. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay. That's good news.
Oh, but more on what you just said about Hassan Reddick playing back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they asked the outside linebacker to do a lot in this defense. So there's not many true pass rush reps often because he's always doing diverse blitzes and stuff like that. Yeah, we know that he wants to win with 4 naturally, right, this year. But to that facet, like, you're not going to have as many pass rush opportunities as he did with the Eagles or with the Panthers. So, I mean, Reddick will be good. I don't like dropping him in the flats like that, but Bowles is creative. No, but that's what this defense is. I mean, we're not a 4-3 defense like the Buccaneers of old. We're not a 4-3 defense like any of these teams that are just going to be, this is what we got, this is what we're going to throw at you. It's more the creative mind of Todd Bowles. You just got to understand that, stop fighting it. Plus, did it for so many years. I'm like, dude, like, even though
it was just
run, like, it was
just the first year.
Yeah.
Well, like,
and last year, I think we beat a dead horse saying this. It's like we just didn't have the horses to run what we had, right? We didn't have the manpower to do it. It was not enough depth. The middle linebacker, the secondary was killed early and often. It was never healthy. So he was just kind of going off of, let me just throw crap at the wall and see what sticks. Now you have to, hopefully the secondary gets healthy again. But you like your middle linebackers, you have some depth in there and experience. We've talked about that. And then you're hoping Reddick can give you some added pressure, right? And then rotation of him and Braswell in there getting added pressure will only help the secondary. So, yeah, and we still haven't seen, where's he at? Our Notre Dame boy.
Morrison. Yep.
So, I mean, yes, get healthy, get out there. It sucks that we lost Roberts for the year, considering he had one good game. Is he in? How long is he going to be gone? So it's frustrating to be talking about all this, but still, it's like you're seeing, like you said earlier, the aggressiveness of it turning into interceptions. You want that. You want the turnovers in that way. And it's all through the secondary as opposed to, 2 from linebackers? But, I mean, overall, you can see a little bit of the change. And Todd Bowles isn't calling the defense just yet. So that's also kind of cool.
Yeah. So far, we've had Larry Foote. He called the defense this past game, and then they had George Edwards call the defense against the Titans. So again, when you're looking at points and points totals, so far it's been very good. You've only given up 21 points in 2 games. I think you'll take that from an average standpoint. That comes out to 11 point. Was that almost 10.5 or 11.5 per game? That's pretty good. Like that is what you want. That's that. If that was the real season, it'd be number 1 defense. So you take that for sure. Want to let's touch on the injuries since you brought those up. I just want to kind of give you my thoughts as far as who I think is most likely going to be out for week 1. And I think it's very, very small list so far. I think a lot of these guys, Winfield, Morrison, I think will be back for the start of the season. Jalen McMillan did have the neck strain. So I think he'll be back for week 1. The good news is the regular season doesn't start this weekend. They still have about 3 weeks to get ready and get healthy. So I think when you look at it from that standpoint, you're really only going to miss the guys that we know about, and that's Chris Godwin, who is most likely going to go on the PUP, and he'll be out for the first 4 games. Tristan Wirfs, I think they're going to keep on the active roster because they feel there's a chance he can be back for maybe week 2, maybe week 3. They're kind of leaning in that direction. So I think he's going to be on the team. And then on defense, I don't think you're going to really be missing anybody. I think Anthony Walker is going to be ready to go. The only guys, what?
What about Isian?
Yeah, Isian's probably going to be the one that's in like questionable range. I feel, because they said he has sore obliques. They didn't say anything about strains or anything of that nature. So maybe it's just a soreness thing, and maybe he can be back, next week this time. But he'll probably be questionable. Other than that, I expect everyone else to be ready to go. JJ Roberts and David Walker on IR, which sucks because they were expecting David Walker to be a really big part of this rotation. So that is unfortunate. But right now I see everyone is going to be good to go. Trey Palmer, I don't think he's going to be on the team. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be on the team. But Rashad White should be back by week 1. So yeah, I mean, right now you have to feel good about where this team is and just hope that, going through the next couple of weeks of practices, that no one else gets injured. You're not going to see really anybody play for this next game coming up. It's going to be pretty much the bottom of the roster, guys that are fighting for the last spots. They are going to play a lot in this game. And we'll see Teddy and Kyle Trask play again this week. So that should be, entertaining to say the least, and just see how everything shapes up.
Question: what do you think about the backup offensive line? So, I saw early Scott was getting pushed back a lot. I feel like, I don't know why they just want to pencil in Haggard as a guard, because I think felt like he was better at tackle when I saw him last year.
Yeah,
but they had, was it O'Neal out there a lot? Yeah,
right.
Right tackle, and I was like, I didn't think he did that well. Or was it Jordan? I think Jordan was out there in right tackle. But
yeah, Jordan needs to be guard. I think they're just trying to
mix and match right now.
Yeah, they're really trying to get these guys to be versatile. But when you really think about it, okay, Charlie Heck is going to be your starting left tackle. You have the rest of the starting offensive line, but then your key backups, I think Jake Majors deserves a spot at center. I think he's been pretty decent when he's been in there. Elijah Klein at guard is completely fine. Like, I feel good about him at guard. And then the rest of it, I think you just, like you said, Luke Haggard at right tackle, I think is good. Benjamin Chukuma has made a lot of progress. Like, he's made a lot of steps. So I think he will make the team. So it really just depends on how many tackles they want to keep. If I had to guess right now, it'd probably be Worse, Heck, Chukuma, and that's probably it. Maybe Luke Haggard as a practice squad guy. You still have Suo Peta, who I think has played tackle before, but again, he's an interior guy. So yeah, I mean, you're probably going to keep 10 offensive linemen. So you got 5 right there, plus Heck, Klein, Majors. So that's 8. Then Chukuma, and then it's probably going to be one more. So probably Opeta maybe is that last guy, or Mike Jordan. But yeah, I mean, the backup offensive line, I think you have some good pieces, but again, it's still a work in progress.
Yeah, I mean, but you just see Klein a lot at backup center. So that's why, you've heard Todd Bowles say you got to be multiple. It can't be just a backup center. That's just ringing in my ears every time I see Klein taking the load share, the backup center position. Like right after Barton's out, Klein's there. There's no, let's check out Jake Majors this time.
Yeah.
So,
I think in this game it was Majors to be the first guy in, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go back and look, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, that's what they've been doing. They've been rotating these guys, in and out. But we'll see how this third game should show a lot, especially against the Bills, and see what we can do against their defense.
And also random tight end room, just based off of Kate Otton's drop and then missing him open, just the tip ball. People saying he needs to wear gloves and stuff. Did Devin Culp even play this game?
He did. He had a catch, but it was called back for pass interference on him. So, but he was in there, but
Very
just
quiet game,
didn't. Yeah, he didn't get a lot of looks. So,
right? Well, hey, at least I was like, damn, did he even play? Like, I was looking at the box score, but also just not remembering him getting anything.
mhm.
But overall, offensively, wide receiver room, we're looking who's going to make it. So we're already penciling out Trey Palmer.
Yeah, I mean, we can go. Let's go through the roster real quick, and I'll give you my projections as far as how I think they're gonna have it for the 53. I'm going Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask as the two quarterbacks on the team. Teddy Bridgewater will be the practice squad quarterback. They can elevate him up if needed, but they will keep him as the practice squad QB. That way, his salary becomes guaranteed as a vested veteran. So I think that's a huge, ploy for them. And obviously, he wants to stay here in Florida. So I expect him to go to the practice squad. Running backs, I think, is going to be Irving, White, and Sean Tucker. Maybe Josh Williams, but I think they're going to try to get him on the practice squad as well. Receivers is going to be Evans, Godwin, Abuka, McMillan, Tez Johnson as your 5. And then I think Sterling Shepard and Ryan Miller likely go to the practice squad. They might keep Ryan Miller on the active roster. It just depends on, probably it's probably going to be that way because Chris Godwin is going to PUP. So you're going to need another receiver. So Shepard and Miller, I think, are the last two receivers to make it. Tight ends is going to be K-Dot, Payne Durham, Kokeefe, and Devin Culp. I think they keep all 4 just because of Kokeefe special teams ability, and then also they can use him as a fullback option if they want to. Offensive line, the starting 5 that you see there were Bredesen, Barton, Mock, and Gedeke, Charlie Heck, Elijah Klein. I say Jake Majors makes it, and then Benjamin Chikuma, and I'm going to go with Opeta as the last guy there. And then the rest of them, they'll try to see if they can get him back on the practice squad. But yeah, we'll stop there. I'll let Mark go ahead if you have any objections or any other guys that you want to see in there.
I'm just assuming Tez is your punt returner as well.
Yeah.
Because, we need some special teams on there. Because, I know he was on special teams kick return, but he wasn't the kick returner. He was out there blocking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was him and Sean Tucker. So
right, so that was kind of fun to see as well. But the backup offensive line is going to be a tricky one. I heard you say Opeta if he can't play it down.
Yeah, they might not.
Right?
They might put him on practice squad.
But I mean that's going to be. I mean, you're just waiting for Wirfs to get back. So otherwise, your 4 out of 5 are already there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like you said. I'm confident with Klein playing any interior role. So it's truly all you really need. And then your hope. Are you hoping Chikuma will be your swing tackle though? Is the question. That's why I think I like Haggard, but maybe they're just going to go with a veteran. That's why they signed so many veteran guys. But I don't know. Overall, let's push it to the defense now. I agree with a lot of your picks though.
Yeah, defensively, keep it. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty standard. So obviously, Cansey, Vea, Logan Hall is on the team. You have CJ Brewer, Elijah Roberts, Greg Gaines. I think those are your 6 defensive tackles. Guys to watch for the practice squad, probably Eric Banks, Mike Green, I think have a good chance. I'm not going to mention Desmond Watson because, again, if you can't get on the practice field, I just don't see it. Maybe they hold out for him on the practice squad and just keep him, or try to push him towards injury reserve, fake an injury, and he's on the IR for the year, and find a way to get him in better shape, better condition, and hopefully he can be someone for you, next season. Maybe that's the plan. At edge rusher, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward as well. I think it's going to be Yaya Diaby, Hassan Reddick, Chris Braswell, and Anthony Nelson. I think that's it. I don't think they're going to add anyone else from this team. I think Jose Ramirez and Marquise Watts have had their opportunities to show something. They just haven't been able to do it. So I think they're just going to keep 4 on the active roster and probably bring one of these guys back for practice squad. Maybe they go out and sign someone, maybe a veteran. That could be a position where they go out and look elsewhere for, a different spot. Inside linebacker, again, kind of the same thing. I think it's going to be Levante, Servassier Dennis, Anthony Walker, Deion Jones. And I think they might keep one of Nick Jackson or John Bullock. I have to check the special teams tape. So I think that's the only way they keep 5 linebackers. And then corners, I have Jamel Dean, Zion McCollum, Jacob Parrish. Where is he on this screen? Oh, there he is. Okay. They did put him up. They put him at nickelback. Good. I think that's where he's going to be. Then Benjamin Morrison, Kendall Vildor. And yeah, I think that's it for corners. I think you could see. Yeah, I think that's it. I think Bryce Hall goes on the practice squad. Josh Hayes, Funderburk, all those guys are sayonara. Like they're gone. Safety, I see Tyke Smith, Antoine Winfield, obviously. Christian Izian's already on the team per Coach Todd Bowles. Kayvon Merriweather, I think, is the 4th safety. And then one of Wisdom, Shiloh Sanders goes back on the practice squad, I feel. So I think that's going to be far as defense. And then special teams real quickly. It's straightforward. Chase is going to be here. We have a punter finally, and Riley Dixon, and Evan Deckers is going to be your long snapper.
So I disagree with the Bryce Hall. I think Bryce Hall makes the team.
I hope so. Again, I think if he gets back to practice this week, he probably plays in this game coming up against the Bills, and maybe they keep him as a 6th corner. But yeah, I could see them easily putting him on the practice squad, though. Again, that guarantees his salary, and that's something usually players want to do.
I mean, just based off of our injury history in the secondary, how I know Todd Bowles is expecting Jamel Dean to get hurt. I know he's probably expecting some sort of lull in the season where he may have to make a transition. Yeah, you're thinking it's Morrison immediately or throw Parrish on the outside. But again, they're rookies, so you don't want to throw them that much to the fire. Yeah. Even though the Eagles showed you can do that, I want to have a safety blanket in there. If he can get to the practice squad, great. But I think he's a guy that actually played better in Vildor, even though he had that one good game. I think it's more of recency bias that you're kind of saying that based off of.
Yeah. But, I mean, you also have to factor in special teams as well. Okay. So, like, Vildor's been good on special teams. That, again, that's going to factor into this. I would have to go back and look and see if Bryce Hall played on special teams in that week 1 game and see how, that comes to about. So, I wouldn't be mad at all if Bryce Hall's on the team. Like, he's a good corner. So, if they want to keep an extra corner, I can definitely see it. And maybe they just go with 6 corners and 4 safeties, like I mentioned there. So, yeah, that's definitely in the possibility.
I'd almost say that just based off of Izian's ability to play multiple positions, but then it's like his injury history too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people are forgetting like how good Benjamin Morrison has been when he's on the field. Like, the guy is the real deal. So I'm excited to see him get back out there, especially week 1 against the Falcons, because he's going to play. Like, I think he's going to get in there. If he's healthy 100%, he's going to get in some snaps, and I'm excited to see what he can do. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to watch him. And I could see a scenario where he challenges Jamel Dean, especially as we get later in the season.
100%.
Maybe he's the starter, at that time.
He's going to take eventually, like we all know, something's going to happen. Dean's going to hammy or a hip or something. He's probably going to take over, and he's not going to relinquish it. It's probably what's going to happen. And yes, we all know Parrish is doing phenomenal in his time on the field.
Yeah.
Not just like getting hands on balls and being aggressive, but just being in the right spot a lot. Like you're not seeing him blown coverage or being really off his man a lot. He's an extremely sticky player. It's something we said in his film study a lot, and it just shows over and over again. I know it's preseason, but still, like it's someone that you have to mention a lot because he's popping off on tape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Just going through the comments here, guys. Feel free if you have any objections about what we talked about as far as the roster. I think that's just going to be pretty straightforward. There might be some surprises, but I don't really see any surprises. I think this roster, top to bottom, is pretty good, and you see the depth, playing out so far. So I think that's going to be definitely something that is going to be important as we go on throughout the season. And maybe the team does make a few external additions, but I don't see it. I think they like the guys that they have currently. Christopher Cole, it's good to see you. What else did I have? Oh, I wanted to show this. We'll go ahead and show this real quick. This is the 2 touchdowns here from the game. Again, this was a great play by Bucky Irving, being able to get back there and make that catch, and then Emeka Buka making his catch. Like, this is really good stuff. We'll see the Bucky touchdown, but you can see like how he stacks the linebacker and then being able to make that play. Again, ISOing Abuka here on the corner route. Understand they have man coverage. Again, good pass protection. It's just a hell of a play.
Yeah, and staying with it, the concentration to stay with that catch. Like you just said, with Bucky on the outside stacking the linebacker, that's a trait you call pretty damn good as a receiver, and as a running back doing it on a linebacker is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And being a little running back to on top of it, it's even better. So, I mean, add a wrinkle to the offense, guys. I mean, you'd think you'd see Rachaad White doing that, but the fact that Bucky can do it too, it just makes defenses even more that worried.
Yeah, for sure. It also you could definitely see Rachaad do something like that because again, he's 6'1", he's a bigger target. He can make plays with his hands. He's already shown that. So yeah, maybe that is the new stuff that we see with Josh Grizzard, the implementation of the running backs making catches down the field, tight ends, etc. So I think that should be very cool to see as we move forward.
Yeah, because one thing I saw over the offseason, they were comparing Bucky to the Dolphins running back. I always pronounce his name awfully.
A-Chain or
A-Chain, whatever. And people were like, "Oh, I like A-Chain, whatever, because he's a better pass catcher and he just proves it over and over." I was like, I looked at the numbers. I'm like, he had 1 year where he had good pass catching ability. Bucky was a 1 year guy, and he showed he can run phenomenally. He just didn't get the ball thrown to him a lot. Maybe because we have so many targets to throw to, they as well. But I mean, that offense is led that way. And guess what? Now we're getting a guy that was with Mike McDaniels for a couple of years, right? And learned under that offense. So maybe he adds that to our offense as well, like throwing the ball to the running back a little bit more, getting him open in the flats more.
Right.
Again, Baker chooses where the ball is going to go. But if it's drawn up for them more instead of just screens, it's more drawn up. Let's clear it out and get it to the running back. Maybe. It's, again, was it a check down? Just being available because of a check down, or was it actually drawn up for him? And we already saw he's drawn it up in the preseason for Bucky.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what you want to do with this offense. You want to isolate your playmakers. You want to find a way to get them the football out in space or find them in one-on-one matchups. And that's what we saw in both of those touchdowns, going up against man coverage and finding the mismatch that you like best and putting the ball in the right spot to allow those guys to make the plays. So yeah, Teddy Bridgewater, I think if something were to happen to Baker Mayfield, Teddy's probably going to get that first opportunity, I feel, because they trust him. He's a veteran. Guys, I think, just play better because of him and his understanding and his control in the huddle.
Mhm.
that calmness that he brings. So I think that was very evident when he was out there. It wasn't anything delayed. Everything was, again, 1, 2, 3, go, get out of the pocket if I have to. He showed enough speed to make plays on the run if that was necessary, or just throw it away and live, the next down. So I think that's important. And also, I mean, I think that's good tape for, Baker Mayfield to watch as well, because that's something that we're hoping
Throw it away.
yeah, throw it away. It's like, we're just hoping he takes that next step where if I don't have it right away, let's bail. Let's get it, to the check down, or, throw it away, live the next down, or get points in field goal range and not, take sacks, because that's the big area, like sacks and turnovers. That's something where he's got to be a lot better in, because 80 sacks in the last 2 years and 26 interceptions, it's not going to cut it. Like, we want to see a little bit more efficient numbers from that aspect.
Yeah. And he's a good player.
Yep.
He's been a coach, so he sees it from different plays. So, I mean, overall, we already talked about this. Teddy Bridgewater is a good ad. I 100% agree with you. Like, he would be the guy if Baker did go down. You'd have to bring him in for a few. It just the calmness of making different checks at the line and understanding what you're seeing defensively in front of you.
Yeah.
It's something that's going to get you to the next guy. It's not saying, oh, this guy's going to compete against Baker. So let's make that known. Not saying, oh, Baker, you need to do it this way.
Yeah.
Baker's got plenty of chalk it up points
Mm.
that he doesn't have, and proved it with bigger numbers and bigger ways and bigger stages. So it's just more the little things that Teddy does well to calmly throw the ball away and save your drives, or save your team from losing points, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And again, Baker had a hell of a year last year, over 40 touchdowns. That's production you take any day. Led the team to the playoffs. So I expect him to be even better this season, which is crazy to think about. And the evolution of the offense come to fruition this year is going to be really exciting to see. I know me and you have been talking about it, and we'll save this one for the next podcast, but Mike Evans, I think, has become the curious case of Benjamin Button, and how he just continues to find ways to get better. And there's an opportunity here that he could be a top 5 receiver this year as far as numbers go, and really explode, kind of like he did in 2016 when Dirk Cutter came back for his second season and everyone knew the offense. And you saw like that explosion that he had, over 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns or more. Like, that is something that Mike Evans could do this year.
Yeah, I mentioned it too. It's like
Yeah.
the year where it's not just begging to get to 1,000 the last game. It's where it's like, holy crap, this guy's damn good. Where people are going to have to literally put him up there with, like you said, top 5 receiver type.
Yeah.
Automatic Hall of Fame type, because it's not just barely getting the numbers. It's because I don't think teams are going to be able to double him as consistently as they have done his whole career this year, especially when it's healthy. But I think he's going to start early. Baker and him have the connection, and then just the new wrinkles that they're going to add will help diversity in the offense where he can get open more. I think it's going to be a fun watch. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. I think, again, I can't wait for that Atlanta game, because that's a huge part to this season. I think I guess you could say it's a must win, because again, it's a division game right off the bat. You want to basically make a statement there and show the NFC South that this is still our division, and we're not going to, let it go, and go into Atlanta and find a way to win. Usually Todd Bowles and his teams have been really good week 1. He's won them all. So that is something we hope continues. But offense, defense, and special teams, I think offensively, we're not going to see like I don't think we're going to see like 38 points right off the bat like we did last week or last year against Washington, but I think the offense will definitely be somewhere in the 20s, and the defense is going to be the storyline where they pick it up and help this team, especially while Tristan Wirfs gets back. You're going to see this team kind of find different ways to win than we did last year, and I think that's important, and it's going to show how much deeper this team is overall.
Hell, you never know, plus. I mean,
yeah,
because they got 2 rookie edge rushers. Will their defense be that much better than it was last year? You lost Grady Jarrett. And they've gotten a lot of additions there, but still, like, I believe in Raw as a defensive coordinator, but he's not calling it.
Yeah.
So let's see. He's a very good at making changes mid game. But I mean, if the Bucs can get to a point where they start off fast, it's going to be difficult for them. I mean, especially if they can't pass rush like they want to. Hey, I mean, step on the gas and don't let off. Like, I think even Todd Bowles said that that's how he wants to be this year. So let's see if it comes to fruition game 1.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, Steven. I think it's definitely a game that needs to be revenged, especially the way things happen both times against Atlanta. It let Kirk Cousins basically throw everywhere. So that is something that needs to be addressed. And I think
getting go for 500 in Atlanta. Let's
yeah, for sure. I think again, it's just going to be a fun couple of weeks coming up, especially with the last preseason game, which is a celebration because again, you're almost there to the regular season. You start to make these cuts and finalize your roster, practice squad, etc. So a lot of busy things happening here at Real Bucs Talk and also with the Buccaneers. I think that is going to be cool to see it all come down here very soon, and we'll see the news and bring it to you guys as it comes in. But yeah, really looking forward to that. And as always, be sure to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Check out our Substack as well. We have that going. We're going to start kind of amping up the content there and get more things rolling. But you can see our Substack. We have basically an example of what we're going to try to bring there weekly. JJ Roberts, unfortunately, out with the injury. It's funny. We had a film study up of him last live stream, and then the injury happened. So maybe no more film studies on live streams. I don't know, but it's yeah. But a lot of good stuff coming to the channel. So hope you guys support, and we love interacting with you all, especially in the comments. So keep those coming.
It was also probably my fault because I wasn't on the live doing the live stream breakdown. So that's probably what it was. Blame me.
But with that said, I think that's going to do it for us. Be sure to hit the like button, like we said. Appreciate everyone joining us here tonight. Gulliver Brown, good to see you. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. We appreciate you. Walker is injured. Yeah, I think he's talking about David Walker. Yeah, unfortunately, he's out for the year, so that does suck. But yeah, everyone in here: Steven, Corey Hall, Brutal as Bucs, David, everybody. We appreciate you. KGH for life. Always a good time. And with that said, I think we're going to close it out and go Bucs.